Hello, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Today I'm playing some Esper Ninjas in Standard Best of 3. TMNT just came out, and of course one of the main themes from that set was ninjas. And if you're anything like me, I know you're hoping that ninjas have a place somewhere in Standard. So in today's video, I got a nice looking ninjas deck here. We're going to try out some of these new ninja cards and see how they feel, see if there's some potential there, and maybe figure out if, with some future optimization, if ninjas can actually be a thing in Standard. I'm going to talk a little bit about the deck and then hop into some games as usual. But if you can help me out, sub up to the channel if you haven't done so already. And more importantly, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about some of the cards from TMNT, which ones have impressed you and which ones have fallen flat. And of course, like the video because that's the easiest thing you can do to help me out. Okay, so from TMNT, of course, ninjas is going to be a theme. It's only natural. And that works especially well with a card that already exists in the format, Kaito, Bane of Nightmares. It has a +1 that works perfectly well with all ninjas. +1, you get an emblem that says ninjas you control get +1/+1. So we are, of course, leaning into Kaito. We're playing a full playset of this one in this deck. And then we have some new cards, Dark Leo and Shredder. This is a 1/3 for 2 mana. It has a sneak of 2, and it says ninjas you control have death touch. That's pretty cool. Maybe we get some nice removal with that. And then whenever Dark Leo and Shredder deal combat damage to a player, create a 1/1 ninja all on its own, so it's going to go nice and wide. And then finally, if we control 5 or more ninjas, that player is going to lose half of their life. I don't think we're really too worried about that last thing. It's a little bit of a dream if that happens, but in the end, Dark Leo is going to be pumping out 1/1 tokens that will have death touch when they attack, and that'll be pretty good for future sneaking. Then we have Turncoat Konoichi. This thing is pretty sweet. It says when this creature enters, choose target creature an opponent controls, exile that creature until this creature leaves the battlefield. So it is an Oblivion Ring on its own. 3/2 for 3, that's pretty good. But if we sneak it in for 4, we just straight up exile that creature. So this is going to be really good against tokens, of course, because they just get exiled no matter what. And then if we sneak it out, we can remove, well, any big threat that the opponent might have. The last notable ninja card is the last Ronin's Technique. It is an instant speed spell, but it has a sneak 2, and it creates 3 1/1 white ninja turtle spirit creature tokens. That's a mouthful. They come in and they are attacking if this was sneaked in. Then over some other new cards that are going to be enabling the sneaking thing. The Prehistoric Pet is a really good attacker, but I'm only running 2 of them because I'm not really sure how often this is going to be able to get in. It can only get past creatures with greater power. So if the opponent has a 1 power creature on the field, it can block the Prehistoric Pet all day. Then the Dream Beavers, a really powerful 1/1. I'm sure you've seen this one all over the place. It is one of the standout uncommons from the set. It is fantastic. We're going to be putting this on the field and then sneaking it back into our hand when we want to put out things like Kaito or, the Kunoichi and whatnot. Of course, this is best of 3, so we do have a sideboard over here, a null just to stop artifact and enchantment decks. Maybe we run into Jeskai artifacts, for example, or maybe we need to take out the sapling nursery from that mono green deck. Very nasty. Duress for our control matchups, a little bit more removal if we need it. Ghost Vacuum for some graveyard hate, and then Tishana's Tidebinder if we need to shut off some triggered or activated abilities. And that is the deck. We're going to hop into some games, see how it works. I'm hopeful, but I'm definitely also not holding my breath for this one. Hopefully it works out. See you over in the games. All right, Burning Bulls first up. One thing, I made a quick change between the little intro there and game number 1. I changed the Prehistoric Pet. I added a second or third one of them, and I cut down the fairy. I can't remember what the fairy's called, but I cut down the dream fairy or whatever down to 3. So an even split of 3 and 3 instead of 2 and 4 as I had it before. I'm a rhyming master. All right, let's put the Hollowed Fountain onto the field. We'll put the Prehistoric Pet out and see what this Golgari opponent is up to. If the Prehistoric Pet ends up surviving, we can get a nice Ronin Technique maybe in. It looks like we're going to do it too. All right, so let's get some ninjas onto the field at the very least. Return our cute little Prehistoric Pet back. And then next turn, if we can get the Kaito onto the field, +1, our ninjas suddenly being a little bit beefier, and that's kind of what we want to be doing, right? Turn 1 drop into good stuff. Unfortunately, now we are against everyone's absolute favorite deck to go up against. It is, well, maybe not. It might not be Kavaro. They don't have any blue mana yet. Yet. Unfortunately, next turn I'm going to have to run one of these ninjas into the Formidable Speaker, and then I'm going to have to bounce one of them with the Kaito, but perhaps it'll work out for us. Hey, we get this another Kaito. Wait, I think no matter what, this is what we're doing here, right? Ninjutsuing in our boy, the Bane of Nightmares, and getting in on them for 4. And if I plus, it makes him a little bit healthier, but I think probably fixing the top of my deck. Nah, let's plus. Let's just plus. I don't know. What do you... I don't have a whole lot of Kaito experience. I was not a Demir player. So am I supposed to be doing the draw there? Maybe the draw is a little bit better. Eee. You see something like Enduring Vitality and you start to think maybe the opponent has a way of comboing against us. Okay, our land. I guess I'm going to be shocking in the... I can still do the Enduring Curiosity this way. If I plus, yeah, plus 1 more. So our creatures are pretty good attackers now. And if we can get the Enduring Curiosity onto the field, we draw a bunch of cards. It's probably going to be the best thing for us. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we are drawing 1 at the very least. We have a 4/3 on the field to protect our Kaito. And they lose the Enduring Vitality, but I have a inkling that this kind of means that they're going to combo somehow. I don't know what this combo is, but I feel like an opponent with this kind of setup is just getting ready to combo off, make unbelievable amounts of mana. Kishla Village, not a card you see very often. They do have a Bloodghast now. Thankfully, the Bloodghast cannot block anything. And if they end up tapping down these creatures for mana, maybe we'll be in good shape. Okay, they're earthbending. So they're trying to go after the Kaito, I think. But I don't know if I like that very much. I might be incentivized next turn to get rid of the Enduring Vitality with the Get Lost. Just simply because it's going to be too much of a threat to us. Yeah, let's keep plussing. Kaito, let's get all of these emblems onto the field and attack in and see if they let some of this damage through. If they don't block anything, we can actually put in the last Ronin's technique, and it's going to be doing a ton of damage. Okay, so they just give us both of these creatures. I think that's fine. And I'm pretty sure I have to blast the Enduring Vitality because that seems to be something that they can just combo with, right? Like nobody just plays an Enduring Vitality for the sake of playing Enduring Vitality. Also, these are 4/5s. That's what you want to see, right? You want to see your Prehistoric pet for 1 come in as a 4/5. That's why I think there is some potential here with Kaito and the Bane of Nightmares. You get this out nice and early. You start getting a whole bunch of these emblems on the field, and then who knows what you can actually end up doing. Let me know. Let me know if you have experience playing the deck that the opponent's playing. Was getting rid of the Enduring Vitality necessary with the Get Lost? I feel like it might have been. Now I'm realizing a little bit of a, not a nombo, but a little bit of an anti-synergy. This creature can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. If we get a whole bunch of emblems on the field, suddenly these prehistoric pets are very blockable. I guess when they're small, they're nimble and fast, and then when they get swole, they're all stocky and can't run very well. So nobody can, or everybody can catch them in that case. That's kind of a cute little thing. What I want for the next turn is for us to be able to attack in and get that last Ronin's technique out and surprise the opponent with a whole bunch of Ghost Ninjas. But the opponent didn't give us the chance. Okay. I think probably we have to bring in the Ghost Vacuum, because if we end up killing the Enduring Vitality, we can scoop it out of the graveyard. Also, they're playing Formidable Speaker and Twilight Diviner, so they're putting things in their graveyard. They want to be bringing them out. We need to bring in some way of turning that off. How effective are things like Requiting Hex going to be? I think Seamrip good, Requiting Hex probably not great in this matchup. So we'll go down 2 of those. And then I think it's just a matter of like trimming a little bit. I don't want to go down too much on Kaito, but I also don't think that they're going to be able to kill our Kaitos all that much. So we'll just kill one flyer and one Kaito from the deck, and hopefully our Graveyard Hate can give us enough of an edge over a very interesting looking Teamer deck. I don't know. All right, let's keep trying to make these ninjas work. I think there's something to these ninjas, but I actually think that the ninjas deck is probably a lot more complex, or the lines that you have to do, just, it's a little bit harder than I'm giving it credit for. All right. This one's weird. We have the Seam Rip, which could be good against some of their early stuff. And if we do end up finding a black source, we can get the Leo and Shredder onto the field. But there's a chance that we don't find the black source. And if we end up finding a Kaito before we find the black, yeah. I know some of you are going to see 4 Hollowed Fountains and say, what are the odds of drawing 4 Hollowed Fountains? Well, I'm sure somebody can tell me. I'm sure it's not that hard to figure out. Hey, that's fine. I think I'm going, I don't think they have anything. So I'm going to go with Leo and Shredder, get them onto the field. We hit them down to 19 and we make a 1/1 ninja. So if they can't get rid of our Leo and Shredder, actually, next turn, we can do quite a bit of damage to them. Okay, that's an Unstoppable Slasher. Unstoppable Slasher turns out pretty good. I guess I'm attacking in, right? I'm attacking in with this ninja. It gets Death Touch. They do not block it, so I'm definitely going to ninjutsu it in. Boom, boom, boom. We don't make a ninja because I'm dumb. But we do get to put the Prehistoric Pet onto the field. Now I could have. So I'm dumb. I'm done. Okay, these are the little things that probably make the deck seem unplayable and then very playable later on. Am I taking all this damage? Yeah, we're taking 8 from the Unstoppable Slasher. It's fine. Ooh. Oh. So Kaito makes things quite interesting, doesn't it? Kaito can, if we attack, I can attack with Dark Leo. He has to connect, actually. Dark Leo's a little bit weird. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, they block there. So I'm gonna put the Kaito in. I'll bounce back my Prehistoric Pet, probably. And hit them for quite a bit of damage. Boom, boom, boom. It's fine. And we'll put 2 stun counters onto the Unstoppable Slasher. And I think probably I want to get my Prehistoric Pet back onto the field. So the opponent needs to do something really cool. Yeah, Dark Leo and Shredder. This card I'm having a hard time with. I think it's good. Not great. I think it's good. But I need to figure out how to use it more effectively, because you want to get it on the field so that it's making 1/1s, but then also how can you get it to connect with the opponent if it doesn't get big enough? All right. Interesting deck from the opponent. Maybe a helpful thing for our deck. Getting a first little win there. Let's see if we can do it one more time. Game number 2. In this set of best of 3 games, something I want to mention or bring up. Now, if you've made it to this part of the video, you're one of those people that probably sticks around and watches my videos. So thank you very much for being one of those wonderful people. How do you feel about best of 3 content? I've kind of switched quite heavily into best of 3 stuff, and the reason is, when I dip my toe into best of 1, man, it doesn't feel good. Best of 1, it is a rough time. I think once in a while, especially when the new set came out, I just think, okay, well, we'll try out some of these decks. We'll get some nice testing going and we'll see how things feel. And then when I play best of 1, boy, does it feel rough. You immediately get hit by things like Kavaro, Badger Molcub, Craterhoof Behemoths on turn 4, and it kind of like reminds me like, oh, hang on, I gotta take a step back. Also, by the way, I just noticed that this map is the TMNT map. So they've already rolled this map out into regular play. If you don't know, I made a video short about this, but if you don't know, you click on this thing a whole bunch of times, and then eventually it will show you, you win, I think is what it says. And when it says you win, you can get a free emoticon. Okay, from here, I don't know what to do. I think I'm going to be putting out the starting town. Do I run one of my ninjas into the Chrome Dome? Yeah, probably. Let's try it. Ninjutsu out a Kaito. Oh, wow, okay, it went no problem. And let's just plus get Kaito up to a healthy 5. I think the opponent will probably have a little bit of a hard time dealing 5 damage to Kaito here. And then hopefully we find some more ninjas in the near future. Hey, speaking of dealing 5 damage to Kaito, that's something. So they can get the lab ship up to the first level and then make something a 2/2, but that doesn't really do anything. And those are not great cards. So I think probably Krang, you get tapped down. Let's get in for 6 damage. Follow it up with a Dream Beaver. Let's see what we find. Dream Beaver, show me something good. Requiting Hex, I think not good enough. And then, yeah, let's get the second Dream Beaver onto the field. They're now down to 2. Seam Rip, good at removing a blocker. We keep it. They're at 2. If they end up loading up the Synthesizer Lab Ship as a way of blocking our Dream Beavers, we can use the Seam Rip to do that last, or to clear the way so that the last 2 points of damage can maybe get in. That's where my head's at. Oh man, when you play decks, oh, okay. When you play decks that are a little sketch, you have to use all your brain. Okay, Krang seems like a pretty good matchup for our Annuls. I think we're definitely bringing that in. And then the Tishana's Tidebinder is also a little bit interesting because we can just turn off things like Krang. So I kind of want to bring in Krang over maybe my Kanuchi. So we'll get rid of Kanuchi. I have to figure out that pronunciation as well. So we'll bring those in. Maybe I even want to go one more. We'll see. And from that, I think probably Get Lost. Not great in this matchup. So I'm going to take out all of the Get Losts and maybe bring in one more Tishana's Tidebinder. I could also make the argument to bring in maybe a Requiting Hex. But I think maybe between the 2 Requiting Hexes and the 3 Seam Rips, it's probably enough already. We'll try it like this. Illusion 9X. I feel like I've played against this opponent before at some point. Some names just kind of stick out to me a little bit more than others. Wow. Imagine if we had proper lands. Now, we do have a Dream Beaver on turn 1. I could scry into the blue source. It's so risky though, right? But man, we have our tech. And we also have, but we only have black mana. Okay. This is just better hand. Okay. Throw away one of the last Ronin techniques, and it's going to be Watery Grave untapped, holding up the Annul. I don't know if I'd want to flash or snap it off so quickly, but I think 2... That's fine, right? Yeah, sure. And what they put out... Okay, yeah, sure. Make some 1/1s. I think I'm okay with that. I'm more afraid of like a future Krang. So let's put the Prehistoric Pet on the ground. It's pretty good blocker against the Percussionist. I think I would probably block the Percussionist, and we still have our Null up. Sure. So let's do what we said we're going to do. Block there. Dark Leo and Shredder are probably pretty good against a bunch of drones because they can't exactly... Basilisk Collar. Good. We have the Seam Rip if we need to use it. And the Lab Ship. Good. All right. From here, I guess we are going to put Dark Leo and Shredder onto the field. get back our Prehistoric Pet. Then I'm going to put out the Hollowed Fountain untapped for the Annul. I think I'm just going to keep holding up Annul and then hope that the Dark Leo and Shredder can keep getting in, keep getting in, keep getting in. In fact, next turn, it's very possible that we might be able to dome them with the ability. That'd be really fun. Hitting them with the ability. Say it so, opponent. Oh my goodness. Actually, okay. So yeah, let's do it. Prehistoric Pet onto the field. Attack in. I'm doing it just because I haven't done it before and I want to do it. I guess I didn't need to put the Prehistoric Pet out, right? Boom, they go down to 6. That was a little anticlimactic, wasn't it? Like it went so fast that like there was no animation. Like you would, come on, Wizards. You've done other cool animations. This is a big thing. Like this is a huge ability. It was just like a little boop. I'm let down, I'll be honest. All right, so far the first 2 games going pretty smoothly, but we were against decks that it looked like people were trying some unique techniques or strategies rather. And I think the Ninjas decks or any decks that are from TMNT that are a little bit new, untested, unoptimized, they can do okay if people aren't just playing the really tried and true best strategies. I'm going to throw away the Requiting Hex. We have the Seam Rip to get rid of like a Badger Mole Cub or something like that, if that's what the case is here. Okay, we didn't find our land, so I think probably I have to go Fairy Dream Thief to Surveil. Okay. Am I going to get absolutely stomped if I flood out the board with one ones and 1 2s? Maybe. All right. What's your follow-up, opponent? You know what we would love? Kaito. Oh my goodness, a Kaito would be fantastic. But we'll get in for 3. No blocks. Nowhere to run from the opponent to murder our Prehistoric Pet. Yeah. Our poor little guy. All right. All right. All right. 2 damage. And I guess we hold up the Flood Pitch Drowner. Do something. Do something, opponent. Dreambeaver. All of their own. Probably I want to hit that with a Seam Rip next turn. I don't want to allow them to be sneaking things out or ninjutsuing things out. This could be just a Demir Kaito list if the way things are looking. Oh, okay. So that's bad news. I'm still going to put the Flood Pitch Drowner out, tap down the Fear of Isolation. So this is actually the deck that the opponent is on is just a Demir bounce list. So we'll get rid of that. I'm not sure if I did that right. And then do I get the Flood Pitch Drowner back or do I get back? Flood Pitch Drowner is something that they can use. I think I bring back the Dreambeaver actually. Yeah. If they want to use the Nowhere to Run on the Flood Pitch Drowner, I think I'm kind of okay with that. Or the Dark, they'll use it on the Dark Leo. But, you know, he already made a 1/1. I got back the Dreambeaver. We'll see. We'll see if it ends up being worth it. Next turn, if we end up finding a land and they don't have open mana, I think it might be a good idea to use the Turncoat on maybe our Dream Thief and then hit the Fear of Isolation, just kill it permanently. They have a Momentum Breaker. Okay. Can I sack the token? I can. We hit it. Okay. This is the way it's got to be. Yeah. So she comes in. We hit them for 5. That's not bad. And then we have the Dream Thief back. Their creatures are gone. They're down to 2 cards in hand, 3 cards now with the draw. Hopefully the Dreambeaver and the Fairy Dream Thief can find us like a Kaito, something like that. And then we could be in pretty good shape. But they also do have the Soulstone Sanctuary that we have to be aware of. They can turn that on this turn. So they go with the Boomerang base 6 to kill our Turncoat, probably. Do they fire it off now, thinking that we might have some kind of counter magic? No. Okay. Well, we're going to attack in, probably get in just for 2 damage. They have that to kill our poor turncoat. I'm a little bit surprised that the turncoat is not a legendary creature. Ooh. Because if you know your Ninja Turtles, which about a month ago, 2 months ago, friends and I, we read our Ninja Turtles. I think I'm going to put that in the graveyard. And yeah, this character is just a ninja for Shredder, and she ends up being a turncoat, of course, but it's a named character. It's a very specific character. It's not just like generic dinosaur. So I'm a little bit surprised that they didn't make that card a legendary card, because they make everything legendary. I'm glad that it's not legendary. I would prefer it not to be legendary. I'm just a little bit surprised that they didn't end up making it a legendary card, because it is a very known, recognizable character, I believe. I've never seen, you guys watch the Ninja Turtles? We're talking about turtles because our opponent's stuck on stock up. You ever watched the Ninja Turtles like animation? I don't know. When I was a kid, there was the 90s animation. Never watched it myself, so I don't know. Flood Pitch Drowner. Okay. Well, they tap down the Prehistoric Pet, maybe? Or everything's bad for them. Yep. Sure. So we still attack in. They have to chump block. I probably should have. Oh yeah, no. We want to put this out 100% of the time, because we get back our Dream Beaver. We hit them for 2 damage only, but we do put down the Dream Beaver, which will drain them for 1 more, and will give us, more importantly, a Scry. I think I put it in the graveyard. This thing in the graveyard's okay. Oh, it's not in the graveyard because that's a Scry. So one of them's a Scry, one of them's a Surveil. The Fairy Dream Thief is the Surveil. If you can put that in the graveyard, at least you can exile it and draw a card. Not too bad. Maybe next turn, if we are in a weird position, we'll definitely try to do that. But they have to deal with 4 attackers. They're down to 1 life. They have the Soulstone Sanctuary. It's not good enough. We are on a tear. Okay. Against this opponent, I suppose you probably have to bring in the Annul, because you have to make sure that they can't get these on the field so that they can keep cycling them with their Fear of Isolation and whatever other bounce things that they have. I'm not really sure. Blue-black. Esper is more about the bouncing stuff, but I still think bringing in 2 Annuls probably going to be good enough. I also kind of think that the Requiting Hex is just going to be better than the Get Lost. So we'll get rid of both of the Get Lost. We'll bring in the Requiting Hexes, because they're mostly going to be on 2 CMC creatures, I believe. And how easily are they going to be able to get rid of a Kaito in their deck? I don't know. I kind of want to go down 1 Kaito. I kind of feel like having 4 Kaitos in the deck is already a little bit too much. Okay, we'll try. But Kaito is such an integral part of the deck, so I'm not really sure if I should be cutting the Kaitos. Don't know. Okay. Looks fine. Looks fine. Enduring Curiosity is another one of the cards that's in the deck that when I got the original list, I think there was only 1 copy of the Enduring Curiosity. I think I've since gone up to 2. I was even considering going up to a 3rd one, because it's just such a good card. But I'm not sure about it. Storm Chaser's Talent, so they're going to be trying the Otter plan this time around. And we get a suite of starting towns. Bunch of Hallowed Fountains, bunch of starting towns. What wonderfully diverse mana that we're getting from our opponents, or from our deck rather. Opponent also double Watery Grave over there. Nothing's wrong with the Shuffler. The Shuffler's fine. That's baiting engagement. Just to rile up people. Okay, so we have our Requiting Hex now. So we can use the Requiting Hex to kill the Fear of Isolation, which I don't hate. Yeah. Is it the Fear of Isolation that we have to get rid of? Probably. And then the turncoats can be good against the Otters. Also, they're not going to be blocking this, and we can put another one on the field. So next turn, maybe we want to get the Dark Leo on the field. We are kind of killing ourselves with our land base because we got another starting town. We got another Hall of Fountain that's going to be doing more and more and more damage to us. So a little bit of a yikes there. And now these otters are potentially going to be getting in for 3 damage this turn. Yeah. Do they find the land? They seem to be digging for a land. If they have another blue source here, they do. 4 damage coming in from this otter when we are already kind of hemorrhaging life. Doesn't feel great. Okay. Man, what's with the full house of lands here? Okay, now we take the opportunity to put in one of the Hall of Fountains, I think, and I'm gonna attack. I could just die on the backswing here. Maybe I should have put out the starting town, and so I could have put the Prehistoric pet out as well. I might just be toast. But we do have a blocker. We have a 1/1 now. If only this said, like, ninjas have Death Touch. I don't think that would be even too ridiculous just to give ninjas Death Touch overall for a mythic. Okay. We're going to get hit by a bunch of 2/2s. And they have the Bitter Triumph. I think now we are just in trouble. I probably have to chump block with that 1/1. I don't think I can take that much damage. Man, we are not getting any of our non-kill us lands. Guys. Okay, go down to 5. No attack. We'll flash in the Enduring Curiosity and hope that they don't have a way of finishing us off. But they're going to be pumping up their otters to at least 2. So they're going to be doing 4 damage to us no matter what here. They just need one more spell. I think we're just dead. Probably. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we can hold off. Oh, do they have a counter? Okay, no. Just Bitter Triumph, part 2. Bitter Triumph, part 2. Okay, the opponent had the exact thing that they needed. Prehistoric pet, no blocks. I'm not letting you die to our horrible mana base there. That was some bad running from our deck. How many lands do we have that don't murder us? Okay, let's be honest. Our mana base is murdering us. Probably, maybe needs a little bit of a reevaluation. I don't know. That mana base looks a little bit painful. Would it be just better to have 2 Verges and go down 2 of the Hollow Fountains? Maybe. On the play for game number 3, and maybe against this Dimir bounce list, we can do okay. But I think that list the opponent's playing is a good list. We have not all of our colors. We don't have blue. We don't have blue with this. And we have 3 blue cards. So we're sitting here on a Requiting Hex and a Prehistoric pet and praying that we find a land. Do you keep this? Let me know. I'm not going to make my decision quite yet. Let me know. Go down to the comments, and I want all of you that made it to this point to tell me keep or don't keep. Maul, keep. We're keeping. We're keeping it. I'm living wild. I'm trusting in my deck. The last match, the deck gave me a whole bunch of trash. This time, it's going to give me some good stuff. See? You just have to trust your deck. And if you trust in your deck, you'll be fine. We're not going to fire off the Requiting Hex just yet. We might do a Null plus Requiting Hex, depending on what they put out here. We might just do Flood Pitch Drowner. Boomerang Basics. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So I think I'm going to probably annul the Storm Chaser's talent when they try to put it out a second time. I can't let them just keep the stupid Storm Chaser's talent. And I'm also going to use a Requiting Hex on the Otter. We lost a lot of value there, but I am attacking in with the Prehistoric pet for free. And this gives us the opening to get our Kaito onto the field, hit the opponent, and draw? Draw. I think I'm drawing because I'm too far behind. That's fine. Okay. Next turn, we go out with the Flood Pitch Drowner and the Prehistoric Pet. My eyes deceived me there. I actually thought that this was the Ninja card. But you know what? The Prehistoric Pet's not bad because we get to start doing +1/+1 with the Kaito, the emblem, and suddenly the Prehistoric Pet is going to be doing a ton of work for us. So we will do that. Attack in for 4. No blocks from the opponent. And you know what? I'm going to Seam Rip away one of these beavers. And I'm going to also shock in one of the Prehistoric Pets and hold the Flood Pitch Drowner back as a way of tapping down the beaver so that they can't sneak anything in. Yeah, let's try it. If they counter the Flood Pitch Drowner, then they use their mana. Now this Dream Beaver is locked down for a few turns and they have a lot of work to do. They have the Soulstone Sanctuary though, so I do have to be aware of that. It's going to be... Soulstone Sanctuary is not great against a 3/4 Prehistoric Pet though. Tell you that much. And I think that's what I'm doing. I'm going up to 3/4 with my pet here. I could also return the Flood Pitch Drowner to my hand. No, I think we attack in for 8. I think you attack for 8, right? And you put the Prehistoric Pet onto the field. So we have 2 3/4s. We're 3-0 with this Esper Ninjas deck. Oh, what? Oh man, it's actually working. We played 3 good games. And you know what? Let me think if I want to do a 3rd match or 4th match or not. We're doing one more. We got time. One more. Let's go. Time to lose. The deck has been running a little bit too well. Do I ask you again a second time? Do you keep this or do you mull this? We don't have a play until turn 4. We are literally praying that the top of our deck gives us something good. Oh man, it's kind of close, right? Mulligan. Okay. All right, we're on the Dark Leo and Shredder plan. It's fine. What are we throwing away? Are we throwing away the removal or are we throwing away probably a... This is a ninja. This is a scry. I think you keep the scry, right? Let's do it this way. It's fine. Save a little bit of life. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. I'm going to keep our boy because we're going to draw Kaito and then we're going to draw land and it's fine. And we're going to smoke this opponent. What? What's this? What's this? When this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target and you gain 1 life. That's terrifying, right? The opponent says nice. Yes, no. Opponent, you nice. I don't have a nice emoticon. Where's my nice? Oh, there it is. This. I wish I could, in Marvel Snap, there's one thing that they do in the game that is kind of neat. That game has a lot of problems, but the one thing that they do that's neat, is you can click on your opponent's cards and you can like react to them. You can like ooh or wow or say like happy face or angry face or whatever, something like that. So if somebody has like a really cool split on a card, a really cool design, you know, they really like my Dark Leo and Shredder that I just paid for in the store, they could, you know, highlight it and go like, ooh, that's cool. I kind of wish that we could do that in this as well. So do I give away the 1/1? I think I do. That's fine. What are they going to do? Put 1 damage on my face? That's fine. And we didn't find what I said we were going to find. So let's attack in for 1. We make another ninja. And we get to Dream Beaver, our 3rd land, to the top of our deck. Well now. That is not... Oh, man. What's more important is getting Kaito on the field or making a whole bunch of 1/1s? let's do the ninja thing. Let's do the cool ninja thing. We have the Requiting Hex. We can use that to blast the Deep Cavern Bat if we really need to. And if we can, you know, get the cool thing off, that's got a lot of value, doesn't it? So there is the second Deep Cavern Bat. So let's just use this now to hit this. Which one do you hit? I guess it doesn't really matter, right? Because in the end, that this just stays neutral because they can't take anything. If I had hit the other one, the Get Lost goes to hand and then they take the Get Lost. So it's fine. Ethereal Armor? Hello. And the attack there is good for us, right? Because now we do the fun thing. Like 100% of the time I do this, right? And the opponent just gained a bunch of life, but they're also going to just get ticked down to 7 here. Boom. Making our own our own murder shredder. I don't know what I want to say here, but this is fun. It's fun. The opponent gain a little bit of life. That's fine. We get to tap down something this time around. So unfortunately, we can't really attack in with the Dark Leo, but what we can do is attack for 5. They all have Death Touch, so when they die... Okay. And the opponent's probably relying on this Deep Cavern Bat, gaining them a little bit of extra life here, but we have the Flood Pitch Drowner. We can flash it into... Okay. Interesting. That's fine as well. I don't care too much about that. Yeah, so I think we got the opponent here because we put this onto the field. We also have the tap down with the other Flood Pitch Drowner, and we could, in theory, even... No block. We could, in theory, find a land that we could play. So if I put this out, I tap down this one, or I tap down this one, and they can only block one thing, and they just die. Yeah. Okie dokie. Fun. Good game. Again, I don't know what the opponent is playing. I'm kind of running into actual rogue decks against my own kind of rogue deck here. Like, this is definitely not a tried and true deck, so opponent giving us the old nice. All right. Take them down to -1, but we were down to 8, so I think probably Requiting Hex going to be a little bit important to make sure that we can take out the Deep Cavern Bats. Do I just go down Get Lost? Maybe at least one Get Lost, maybe one Kaito, something like this. Keep one Get Lost. Do I need Duress or anything else? I don't think so. Now, do I need Tishana's instead of the Turncoat Kunoichi? Kunoichi? No, we'll try like this. No idea what Nikki Boy is actually up to with their plan. If they're doing some kind of Bloodletter, not Bloodletter, but Bloodthirsty Conqueror combo. It kind of has that vibe. And all right, that's it for that one. That was all Nikki Boy had in them, and I think that's probably good enough to call it there. All right, a little bit of a shame that we didn't get to see more of Nikki Boy's deck at the end there, but they were definitely on a bit of a rogue deck that they put together themselves, which is always neat to see. I kind of wish I could have seen more of what they were trying to do with the drain out. Anyways, as far as ninjas go, a little bit more impressed with the way ninjas were feeling now. The decks that I had been trying Dark Leo and Shredder out in were maybe a little bit more split on the ninja plan. And I think if you kind of focus on going ninja, you can actually get some pretty good stuff going on. Obviously, Kaito, when it gets on the field nice and early on turn 3, and you can start doing that +1, suddenly all of these cards that you're putting in onto the field, and even the Prehistoric Pet, have a lot of value to them and can make it very hard for the opponent to deal with things. Oh, I did go up to 3. I thought I was at 2 for some reason. Enduring Curiosity actually didn't really do all that much because we kind of just didn't see it, and when we did see it, it was a little bit too slow at 4 mana. So maybe it's reasonable to actually go down on the Enduring Curiosity. I'm kind of now thinking, is maybe the other Enduring card better for this deck? should we just be running Enduring Innocence maybe? Like think about the deck like this instead, right? We get rid of our Enduring Curiosities and we throw in 3 of the Enduring Innocence, and suddenly when we're putting in Dark Leo, when we're putting in the Flood Pitch Drowner on our opponent's turn, suddenly we could be getting a little bit more value. I'm not really sure if the Enduring Curiosity is actually right for this. Plus, this also gives us a little bit of lifelink to help us sustain through some stuff. So that might be something that I would be willing to try out and want to try out in future iterations of this deck. But the overall first impression of some of these cards is good. Last Ronin technique, you have to learn how to play it. I think I didn't overplay it super well some of the times. I think it's probably worth it when you do get this out on turn number 2 to, like, you go turn 1 Prehistoric Pet, turn 2 Last Ronin, and then you get rid of one of the tokens for a Kaito. That's probably going to be worth it, even though you're going down one of the tokens. But yeah, pretty good. And then I was also really impressed with the Death Touch on the Dark Leo and Shredder when we were attacking with ninjas. I think it was more apparent in this set of games than I had experienced previously when I was playing Dark Leo in a different deck. Anyways, this is cool. Let me know what you guys think about ninjas and how we can maybe tweak the deck a little bit to make it a little bit stronger, a little bit more streamlined, a little bit more optimized. And if there are any cards that were missed, there are a lot of sneak and ninja oriented cards that I think are around, and trying to figure out the best distribution of those cards is going to be quite a challenge, and hopefully some better deck builders figure it out over the next couple of weeks. But I think there might be some potential for a ninja deck to be okay. Not top tier, but at least playable. That's it for this one. Let me know what you thought about it. Take care for now. Sarang Ipana, and I will see all of you in the next one. Bye-bye.